Welcome to the Nation of History channel. Be sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. The damage suffered by Warsaw after German air attacks in 1939 marked the beginning of Poland's occupation, which triggered World War II. These attacks devastated the city and left many residents in extremely difficult conditions, symbolizing the severity of that global conflict. During World War II, medical operations in underground spaces, such as on Bougainville Island in 1943, stood out because troops and civilians needed protection from air attacks. These facilities kept care going under harsh conditions, saving countless lives. The discovery of a bone piece with signs of age and enamel, probably linked to an ancient Roman execution method from the 1st century, strengthens the understanding of how severe punishments were at the time. These remains help explain historical, social, and religious aspects of the period, especially in Jerusalem. During World War II, American soldiers used captured equipment to strengthen their operations, symbolizing the advance against the German regime. The 1944 to 1945 photo shows the effectiveness of the Allied effort, which was essential to Europe's liberation and the end of the conflict, marking a decisive moment in world history. During World War II, London faced severe air attacks that left large urban areas damaged, as shown by the visible rubble. The bravery of people who kept rebuilding helped the United Kingdom resist, strengthening the country's determination to preserve its freedom. The message written by a criminal in 1965 reveals his obsession with keeping sharp objects in order and his desire to act quickly, reflecting disturbing and ritualized behavior. The reference to Jack the Ripper points to one of London's best-known criminal cases of the 19th century, marking a dark chapter in police history. The arrival of the Allies in Berlin in 1945 marked the end of World War II in Europe, leading to the surrender of the Third Reich. The display of posters and images of leaders, such as Stalin, symbolized the Soviet occupation that would consolidate control over the eastern part of the city and change the country's future. The visit of a military figure to a French mausoleum in 1940 reflects the global tensions of that period, marked by the tremendous impact of World War II. The immediate occupation of France by enemies of the German regime brought deep consequences for the European political scene, influencing actions and alliances. In the 1960s, Vietnam was going through a period of intense tension involving American authorities and communist groups, marking global polarization. The mentioned phrase reflects the complexity of the political and social setting, while propaganda campaigns and public debates gained national and international attention. The scene shows part of Glasgow's poor neighborhoods in 1868, where residents wore simple clothing under a gray sky typical of the 19th century. The presence of clotheslines and stone streets shows the standard of living and urban conditions of the period, marking industrial growth and the social challenges of the time. During the Great Depression, skyscraper construction marked technological and economic advances in the United States, shown by the New York skyline of 1939. Weak safety standards reflected the era, while architectural progress symbolized hope for recovery after the global financial crisis. The 1923 FA Cup final at Wembley drew about 300,000 fans, far beyond the capacity of 125,000, causing confusion. This match set an attendance record and showed the growth of soccer and sporting passion in England. Hundreds of United States Army sedans appear lined up at the port of La Pallice in France, shortly after landing in 1957. The organized vehicle fleet in the industrial yard reflects the strong logistical presence and American military infrastructure in Western Europe during the Cold War. The crackdown on wine runs during Prohibition, which began in 1920 in the United States, intensified federal actions against illegal alcohol networks. In 1921, arrests like this near St. Paul show enforcement efforts that drove legal changes and expanded the activity of illegal groups. In the 1930s, New York's custody system sought to rehabilitate women through activities that encouraged discipline and independence, including practical training. These actions reflected an effort to prepare inmates for reintegration, while also showing the complex relationship between institutional supervision and education. During the 1940s, World War II increased women's participation in the workforce, including in places such as Iowa, where many women joined the war effort. These workers, taking a lunch break, represent the female strength that supported production and the economy during that difficult period. During World War I, Christmas time was marked by moments of hope amid the conflict. The image of a soldier carrying a Christmas tree in 1915 shows how traditions continued to stay alive even in the trenches, reinforcing the importance of unity and hope in military history. Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife were preparing for a decisive moment as they left an official event in Sarajevo, hours before the attack that would trigger World War I. This event marked the beginning of a global conflict that would reshape international relations for decades. The presence of women in Nottingham, England, during the 1910s reflects women's involvement in industrial and scientific work related to World War I, when the production of military materials increased to meet the demands of the period. The episode involving President James Garfield in 1881 highlighted the lack of safe medical techniques at the time, leading to his death after complications that followed his initial survival of the attack. This case showed the need for advances in hygiene and medical procedures influencing public health reforms. In the final years of the 19th century, Sioux indigenous culture showed its traditions through ceremonial dances at Fort Niobrara, Nebraska, a strategic place for the expression and resistance of Native communities. These displays strengthened their identity in the face of forced changes brought by advancing settlement. On a street in Acoma in 1886, residents wore clothing typical of the time, including traditional hats, while adobe buildings with flat roofs shaped the scene. During this period, the relationship between indigenous communities and the advance of settlers shaped New Mexico's history, with cultural preservation playing a fundamental role. The 1873 record highlights the beginning of intensive exploration of indigenous areas in the United States, such as Canyon de Chelly. This era marked the arrival of settlers and researchers, leading to the documentation of historical and cultural traces of ancestral peoples such as the Anasazi, whose presence goes back thousands of years. The approach of decades marked by World War II brought deep social changes reflected in formal fashion and the presence of two men, one younger, possibly involved in political or military activities. This period highlighted global mobilization and the transformation of societies. Walking through a North American city with classical architecture, a man in a suit accompanies his daughter on a quiet stroll, while leafless trees suggesting a cold season reinforce the sober mood. This moment points to the 1960s, marking an era of prosperity and hope in the United States after the success of the space program. During the 1970s, the Soviet Union developed the chronoplan, an innovative aerodynamic lift craft that used wind force to fly close to the surface. Its progress contributed to maritime and military transportation technology, marking an important step in the country's aerospace engineering. Transporting aircraft by airships such as the United States ship Macon marked a strategic advance in naval aviation in the 1930s, allowing fighters such as the Curtiss F-9C Sparrowhawk to be launched and recovered in the air, expanding the United States Navy's maritime defense and reconnaissance capability. In the 1970s, the production of Star Wars revolutionized the film industry by combining innovative special effects with a space adventure story that captured the world's imagination. This phase marked the beginning of massive success, driving the growth of an entire cultural franchise. The launch of the first portable phone in 1973 marked a revolution in communication because it allowed greater mobility. This innovation pushed the development of mobile devices, which now connect billions of people and permanently change society and the global economy. The attempted flight that took place in 1903 on the coast of North Carolina marked a crucial moment in aviation history. Wilbur Wright, after a failed test with his model, showed the perseverance that drove technological innovation and opened the way for commercial flights, transforming global transportation. The flight of a wide-cabin airplane over Manhattan in 1939 reflected the expansion of commercial aviation during the golden age of airports and air travel. This advance made fast connections between cities easier, strengthening New York as a financial and cultural center of the world. At 24 years old, Alfred Hitchcock was beginning to build his film career during an era marked by the development of silent cinema and noir, styles that would influence his work. The 1923 photograph records the beginning of a master of suspense before his worldwide peak. The presence of Muhammad Ali, a boxing legend and symbol of resistance, highlights the social and cultural transformations of the 20th century. His career marked the fight against racism and for equality, influencing politics and social movements while creating a lasting legacy in sports history. In the early days of McDonald's, the clown figure Ronald was created to attract families and children, helping popularize the fast food chain. His first portrayal, played by Willard Scott, marked the beginning of a marketing strategy that remains strong today, symbolizing joy and fun. A young Marilyn Monroe poses in a simple room reflecting the fashion and beauty of the 1950s, an era marked by cultural change and movie glamour. Her image still influences pop culture and beauty standards today, establishing her as a symbol of a generation seeking freedom and authenticity. In the 1920s, Frida Kahlo began exploring her identity and style, reflecting influences from artistic movements such as modernism. Her choice of a men's suit in the 1924 photo symbolizes her search for independence and authenticity in a period of strict gender norms, marking her revolutionary stance. Constance Markievicz stood out in the fight for Irish independence by taking part in the Easter Rising of 1916, a decisive milestone in the rise of Irish nationalism. Her role as the first woman elected to the United Kingdom Parliament strengthened the fight for women's rights and Ireland's autonomy. In the 1930s, the Soviet Union invested in urban modernization and the development of futuristic technologies to strengthen its political and economic power. These initiatives reflected the ambition to turn the country into a major technological and industrial power. The introduction of a police robot in the 1980s marked a technological innovation in Beverly Hills public safety, reflecting the rapid evolution of surveillance systems. This advance pointed toward the use of machines to support human work, influencing the modernization of police forces. In the late 19th century, Walter Arnold drove his vehicle through a town that reflected the urban growth and technological advances of the time. In 1896, the issuing of the first speeding ticket marked the beginning of rules on automobile use, influencing the development of modern traffic. The pioneer of the automobile industry, inspired by technological innovations from the late 19th century, transformed transportation by creating a car with a simple structure, without a hood or modern details. His vision pushed the development of accessible vehicles and revolutionized global mobility. In 1925, motorized chariot races became popular as a sporting phenomenon, reflecting the spread of vehicles and the beginning of mainstream automobile competitions. These contests marked the moment when automotive entertainment began to take hold, influencing later years of motorsports. At the turn of the 20th century, rural Appalachian musicians reflected the importance of oral and musical tradition in preserving regional culture. The photograph highlights the role of isolated communities in continuing genres such as folk and bluegrass, which were essential to the formation of American musical identity and cultural resilience. The arrival of Italian immigrants at Ellis Island in 1905 marked a crucial moment in United States history, symbolizing the beginning of an intense migration wave that would shape New York's demographic and cultural growth. This movement influenced immigration policies and the city's diversity. In the 1920s, Yosemite National Park gained attention as a symbol of conservation and tourism in the United States, showing the value of protected areas. This era marked the strengthening of environmental policies and the government's appreciation of natural heritage. The Intourist Hotel offers an impressive view of the Kremlin and Red Square, historic symbols of Moscow, whose architecture includes domes and towers. In the 1970s, the city was at the height of the Soviet regime, and international tourism was growing, reinforcing the importance of centers like Moscow on the world stage. The Meeting of Actors in Deauville in 1968 reveals the glamour of the 1960s, marked by celebrities and elegant fashion. This era was decisive in film history, influencing trends and strengthening the fame of international stars such as Sean Connery and Brigitte Bardot, who represent the height of classic style. In the 1960s, Anita Ekberg, an Italian film star, stood out for her striking presence and mysterious beauty. Her contrast with the emerging celebrity culture showed the impact of international cinema on fashion, behavior, and the movement of famous people through major cities of the time. In the 1970s, the Swedish police strengthened its role in society during a period of growing urbanization. The forces adopted traditional uniforms and a constant public presence, essential for maintaining order in a changing society with emerging social challenges. At the busy intersection of Broadway and West 49th Street, a checkered blazer stands out on the sidewalk, reflecting the lively atmosphere of New York in the second half of the 1980s, marked by bold fashion, distinct vehicle designs, and commercial signs with lettering typical of the era, a symbol of chaotic urban life. In the late 1860s, Abilene became an important shipping point for Texas cattle, marking the growth of towns connected to railroad routes. This phase was essential to the economic integration of the American West, driving territorial development. In the setting of an old railroad, workers in wool clothing and hats look out over the landscape as coal mining operations drove economic and population growth in the region. This infrastructure marked the beginning of an industrial transformation that shaped the country. During the 1930s, the British postal system went through technological advances that increased efficiency, especially through automated sorting processes. In 1939, preparation for the Christmas season stood out by speeding up gift delivery, reflecting the importance of the postal service in strengthening social solidarity even during a time of approaching conflict. After World War II, Detroit's industrial expansion boosted the auto industry and urban growth, strengthening the city's importance as an economic center. In 1947, advertisements with aerial balloons reinforced the strength of brands such as Ford in the region. During the 1970s, the music scene reflected a major cultural and artistic transition marked by meetings and conflicts among well-known artists. The expulsion of famous performers from places such as the Troubadour in West Hollywood shows the atmosphere of change and debate over style and behavior at the time. Joan Rhodes, known as a strong woman of the 1950s, demonstrates her strength by tearing a telephone book in half, a symbol of her resilience in a time when women fought for recognition. Her skill reinforces the importance of progress in gender equality after World War II. In the 1940s, London faced the effects of World War II, marked by bombings and rationing. The presence of classic vehicles and the architecture characterized the city during a period of resistance and rebuilding after air attacks, strengthening the determination of the people in those difficult years. The routine of passengers aboard a Cunard ship in 1912 shows the importance of leisure and comfort at the time, before the notable episode involving the Franconia in 1916, which was struck during World War I, leaving important records in 20th century maritime history. In the late 19th century, the popularity of races with large and small wheeled bicycles grew in New York, symbolizing technological progress and the expansion of urban sport. These competitions helped establish cycling as a social phenomenon and encouraged transportation innovation. During the 1920s, the presence of ambulances with Red Cross signs and older vehicles reaffirmed the development of emergency services in the United States, especially in Washington, District of Columbia. These innovations helped improve medical care and save lives during a time of rapid social and technological change. At the height of the 20th century, gaslighting dominated the streets of Glasgow, strengthening urban life before electric lighting became common. This technology, essential for safety and social life, marked a transition from the 19th century to the 20th century, reflecting industrial and social progress. Young students protest outdoors, wearing clothing typical of the time and holding handwritten signs in support of social and cultural change, reflecting the questioning and changing mood of the 1960s, a landmark period for movements that expanded rights and challenged traditional authorities. During World War II, pilots like this played a crucial role in gaining air superiority, driving military strategies, and influencing the outcome of the conflict. Their courage in the cockpit marked a turning point in the history of world military aviation. In the 1970s, the growth of consumer goods and the spread of supermarkets transformed shopping routines. This change stood out for the increase in product variety and accessibility, strengthening the role of retail trade in the country's economic development. In the 1950s, the evolution of automobiles marked a new era, reflected in vehicles such as the 1954 Buick, a symbol of innovation with its analog interior and elegant design. This period boosted marketing and the growth of the auto industry, establishing the car as a symbol of status and modern life. In 1961, the presence of glamorous female figures in promotional sessions strengthened advertising for theater productions, such as Damn Yankees, showing elegant showgirl outfits and high heels. These campaigns boosted the musical's success and reinforced the image of Hollywood stars in popular culture. The portrait of a young Elizabeth II beside her father, King George VI, taken in 1929, comes from a moment of political transition in the United Kingdom. The image shows the tradition of the British monarchy, which strengthened its importance in the country's national and cultural identity by enduring change. In the late 19th century or early 20th century, elegant and detailed interiors reflected the social standards of the time, with classical architecture marked by columns and tall moldings. These buildings showed cultural progress and the era's focus on aesthetic value. In the early 20th century, sporting events became more popular, reflecting the growth of public activities and social enthusiasm. The presence of flags and signs in English points to an emerging sports culture in English-speaking countries, contributing to the development of sports as a worldwide phenomenon. In the early 20th century, kitchens with traditional furniture and vintage utensils were common. The 1914 photograph shows a domestic routine of the time, marking advances in everyday history and showing the evolution of utensils that reflected the era's technological and social progress. In 1916, streetcar operation in London still depended on skilled conductors, reflecting the expansion of public transportation in the city. This period marked advances in urban infrastructure and established public transit as a key element of economic and social growth. In the early 20th century, a New York street shows wooden buildings and handwritten signs in English, reflecting the city's commercial growth. This period marked urban and economic expansion driven by increasing trade and immigration, strengthening American identity. In the 1850s, photography was emerging as a way to record everyday life and people in Europe through portraits, including in Sweden. These images helped give value to family memory, becoming rare and precious historical records from that period. The architecture of Ostankino Palace in northern Moscow reflects a classical style with its columns and central dome, a symbol of the imperial period. Its presence shows Russia's cultural and historical importance, shaped by eras of transformation that established the country as a world power. Inside an enclosed space, a woman with a full hairstyle and wedding dress shows the elegance of past eras as she gets ready in front of a vanity mirror. This scene points to the first decades of the 20th century, when sophistication and attention to appearance became symbols of social status. In California in 1910, writers and artists looked to nature for inspiration to portray the social and cultural conditions of the time. Jack London, known for works that explore the force of survival, reflects this search by working outdoors, showing the pioneer spirit and connection with the North American environment. In the 1870s, the interior United States was experiencing the height of westward expansion, with groups of officers and assistants setting up camps in the Belmont, Nevada region. This expansion marked the consolidation of territorial control, influencing the growth of towns and the exploration of mineral resources. In the late 19th century, urban centers were emerging with printing presses and small businesses, such as the print shop seen in the scene, which was essential for spreading information and culture. This era marked advances in communication and the beginning of industrialization in Brazil, influencing society. In the 1970s, Sweden strengthened its tradition of neutrality and political stability, reinforcing its democratic system. The scene shows young people relaxing and the presence of a royal guard, a symbol of the state, during a time of cultural and social modernization in the country. Brazil's independence on September 7, 1822, marked the country's political emancipation, breaking away from Portuguese colonial rule. This date symbolizes the affirmation of national autonomy, shaping the creation of its own identity and strengthening the path of independence that formed modern Brazil. If you enjoyed this video and want to support the channel, please use the Super Thanks tool below. Your contribution helps us keep bringing you amazing historical content. Thank you so much for your support, and see you in the next video.